All right, what's up, guys? In this video, we are going to be looking at how to create some basic lights in Maya 2019. Still works with 2018 and versions before that. So I've got a room in the works right now. The first thing we need to look at is these views up here. Right now, I have my texture view turned on as well as the shaded view. But we will need to turn on the lighting view and the shadow view. If I turn on use all lights right now, my room goes dark because I don't have any lights. I'm going to turn that off and turn it back on later. But if you don't see the lights at work, make sure that's turned on. Really quickly, if I go to Create in the modeling menu, if you don't see any of this stuff, make sure that you go back to Maya Classic or you can reset your current workspace. But if I go to Create, then I have lights, and I have three that I'm going to go over today: Ambient, Directional, and Point Light. Each of them works differently for different reasons. Each of them works differently, and you would use it for different reasons. For example, ambient light, if I just created one ambient light doesn't come from any source. Right now I've got my outliner open. If you don't see that, window, outliner. But if I click on my ambient light, I'm going to hit W on the keyboard, and I can move this. An ambient light doesn't come from any one source. It just lights up everything generally, kind of thing. I always like to have at least one of those on so everything's lit up. If I go to my attribute editor with my light selected, I see it's an ambient light. I can color it and I can change the intensity. Let's turn on our lights and see that it is lit up a little bit. I like to use one ambient light in my scene, which is low intensity. You can change the color pretty easily. So if you want it to be blue or if you want it to be green, I'm just going to keep it white for now. So again, ambient just lights up everything generally without coming from any one source. A directional light, though, if I go to Create, Light, Directional Light, a directional light, as we can now see, points from one source. If I hit E to rotate it, I can rotate it and change which way it's pointing. So maybe light is coming in through the window. I will move it outside of the window. And it doesn't really matter where it's positioned, as long as it's like the rotation is going to change where the light is coming from, where shadows are being casted. So now it kind of looks like light is coming in through the window. I need to re-rotate this. There we go. That this surface is lit up more than this surface. Again, I can change the intensity and color with that as well. Maybe if it's like window light, maybe it's a little bit more blue. Just a little bit, not too much. And then the last of the three lights, so ambient light lights everything up. Directional light actually points in one direction. I usually use it for window light or sunlight if it's an outside scene. If I go to Create Point Light, a point light is like a light bulb where it just exists on one point. So in my scene right now, I could do like the chandelier. That might take a little while. So for the tutorial, I'll say maybe there's a fire in the fireplace. So if I go to Lights or Create Lights, Point Light, again, I'm going to W to move it around, and you can already see it starting to affect things. I'm going to move it into my fireplace, press F to zoom in on it, and maybe because it's fire, it should be a little bit more intense, and it should probably be colored differently too. I'm going to color it, maybe give it a little bit of a red-orange hue. I still like to keep it kind of close to the white spectrum, just like a tint of the color. And zoom out, and boom, there it is. You can see that the fire is like reflecting on that wall, but not that wall. I like to mix lights too. If I Command D to duplicate that light, move it a little bit, and then recolor it. Maybe this one can be a little bit more orange, or I'm sorry, a little bit more red. That's some color theory for you there. And boom, I have a very quickly lit scene in Maya. So again, ambient light lights everything. I like to have one in there. Directional light casts shadows. Oh, I could turn on my shadows too now. Wow, shadows. Directional light casts those shadows, determine what direction the shadows are going to come from, and then a point light exists on one point. So for a lamp, a light bulb, in my case, a fireplace. Pretty easy. Just make sure your lighting is turned on. Thank you for watching.